My favorite thing about living in New York City is that you don't see any limits. You always meet someone with a better apartment, with a fancier car, just someone who makes more money and is more established than you. Let me just remind you, it is a city where Robert De Niro lives, where A$AP Rocky and Rihanna hang out. How can you ever feel comfortable here? How can you ever feel enough? There's even a neighborhood called Billionaires Row. I have been in New York City for the past 8 years. And yes, it's a city where all the dreams can come true, but it's also a city that constantly gives you reality checks. And to me, New York City is on hard mode for sure, because I'm an immigrant, I didn't have any friends, I didn't have any connections, no money, not even papers when I just moved here. And I'm about to give you 3 reasons how New York City can make you feel like a failure. The other day I saw a cool reel of a Canadian creator, and he said that one thing that surprised him the most in New York City, in the USA, is that the first question people ask is, what do you do for a living?
I'm not used to, as a Canadian,
Yeah.
being asked about my job all the time. Like
Right.
we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't go out and somebody's like, so what do you do?
People always judge you by what do you do for a living? How much money you make? How many followers you have? What's your career? Don't judge a book by its cover, but judge people by their career. And people do that because there is a lot of pressure on money, on your career, on how established you are, how famous you are. And people see you as another source of income, as another source of connections and networking. And I'm so sick and tired of it. It was the most painful when I was not making enough money. When I was just starting in my own business, when I was just starting in my new industry, which is content creation, and people always looked like upside down on me. And I remember my first year in therapy, my therapist told me that asking someone about how they make their money is a type of emotional violence. And the best part about it is that you're never enough. Even if you're making 100K a year, you're just average for New York City. If you're making 200K a year, it also depends on the room you're in. Sometimes you can even be a millionaire and you can still feel like you're not enough. Or you don't hang out with Will Smith and Scarlett Johansson. So I guess the outtake here is that no matter how successful you are, New York City will always make you feel like you're not enough unless you yourself know your worth. You know that you're worth of all the good things in life. No matter how much money you're making, no matter how successful you are, you can still be here. As I mentioned, I've been in therapy for a couple years already. It was because I moved here. It was because I constantly felt lonely and I was depressed. And I don't think it's a me issue. I think it's an issue of living here. In a city so big, it's so hard to find a little comfortable place for you, comfortable space for yourself. It's always super crowded. December is the worst time to be in New York City, trust me, because it's so crowded. You can't even walk normally. There are lines and crowds of people just on the streets. It's always noisy. Thank God I don't have windows going out to the street. But some of my friends who live in Midtown Manhattan, it's horrible. It's so loud out there. You can never actually relax. If it's not the car honking, if it's not the ambulance cars, it's probably the heating system, it's probably your roommates, neighbors. So many crazy people out here. It's pretty uncomfortable. It's pretty loud. It's pretty stinky in here. It smells like weed all the time. Rats, cockroaches. All together combined, it just makes you feel stressed all the time. Everyone who lives in New York City, we just want to get out of New York City. That's why people go to Hamptons. That's why people go to New Jersey. That's why people love to travel. If you see a New Yorker who constantly travels, that's probably not because New York City is not enough. It's probably because New York City is too much. And if you want a real reset, if you want to get some recharge, then you have to go outside of New York City. And again, because you see so many successful people out here, can't help but you start comparing yourself to others, and it's not making you feel any better. It probably makes you feel more ambitious. It probably helps you achieve more, to achieve more goals, to set like more ambitious goals. But in the long run, it's probably not helpful. And I'm not saying New York City is bad. If it was that bad, I wouldn't live here for the last 8 years. I'm just saying it like a warning for people who are thinking about moving here or people who are thinking about moving out of here. And I get it. And I think number 3, which is probably the most obvious one, is money. Rent prices are through the roof. My friends are renting apartments for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Some of them live in the city, but some of them just rent out tiny rooms in Brooklyn for like thousands of dollars. And it's funny because you can use the same amount of money to live somewhere like in a different state and have a whole house to yourself. One of my friends is seriously considering moving to another state because for the money he pays for his room, not even an apartment, he can rent out a house somewhere else. I remember moving to like upstate New York, and I had a whole studio for myself for $700, and now I'm paying almost $1,000 for the tiny room. You can make a lot of money living here, but it's also so compatible out here. When I was looking for a job in tech, I had to move upstate because I couldn't find a company that would hire me here in New York City, in a city with millions of people and thousands of companies. I couldn't find a spot for myself. So I had to move to upstate, which was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made because I lived there for a couple years and it was a nice recharge, a nice emotional reset for me. But it's just insane. Imagine living here and not being able to find a job. And I'm not even talking about subway prices being $3 starting January 1st. The utilities, the internet, all the bills, it's crazy. For the money that one person spends here every month, you could probably feed a family of 3 somewhere else. But obviously, New York City is worth living in. I love this city because it gave me so many good friends. It gave me so many like career opportunities. I make money being here. I make money doing what I love. And what I love the most is that New York City has so much to offer. If I want to go to the ocean, I can go to Coney Island. If I want to go see a movie, I can go to any movie theater. If I want to see a play, I can go to the city and just see a play, a Broadway show. I can hang out with so many different people. I can go to events, meetups. And you always feel like there's more coming. More people are coming in your life. More money is coming into your life. More just love and happiness and joy. And so many amazing experiences are coming your way. And I would say you will be okay here as long as you don't compare yourself to others, as long as you're in therapy, and as long as you know how to make a lot of money.